was really cool.
Let's see if we can adjust this. Here we go. Thank you all for coming. Today's speech will be a cultural speech over the Scottish culture. Nearly 50 million people worldwide can trace their heritage back to Scotland. And that may not seem like much, but when there's only 5 million in Scotland, that actually is quite a bit. They're actually the world leader of family histories. They have documents dating back to the 1500s. And so because of that, they're also behind most of the online ancestry websites. But with so many people descending from Scotland in the world, not many actually know their own heritage, which is kind of strange. Within these next few minutes, I hope to share with you the Scottish culture by describing the language, the traditions, and also the people. So, starting off with language. If someone were to ask, what language do you think they speak in Scotland? What would you say?
Scottish.
Scottish, right. But that's not quite true, because for the most part, 99% of them speak English, with a very heavy Scottish accent, mind you, but it's still English. However, 30% of those can speak Gaelic, which is, in most parts of the world, a dead language. There are actually over 140 different languages spoken in Scotland, and this is due to the fact that over the years, Scotland has just absorbed any culture that comes into it. They are a very open culture, and because of that, they have over 140 different languages spoken. Now, English may be the official language, but like I said, people can speak more than one, and they do very often there. Now, on to traditions. According to Scotland.org, Scottish traditions are vibrant, living things, constantly growing and evolving. They're not like certain traditions where it has to be done this way every time, every day of every year. They're very fluid. Such traditions include the annual Highland Games, which I'm sure many of us have heard of. Throwing a giant, boulder as far as you can. It's just, there's tons of games, but it's not just the sporting aspect that's important. The music and the food and the dancing is just as important when it comes to the culture of Scotland. Supposedly the Highland Games actually started in Ireland, but as I said earlier, they welcomed immigrants in about 400 AD. That's 400 years after Christ was born. They welcomed Ireland immigrants in, and that's where the Highland Games came from, but Ireland kind of went away with it, and the Scottish people just picked it up and ran, literally. Going along with traditions, the traditional food would be haggis. That is a ton of different sheep organs mashed together into a lovely pudding. Yeah, at least that's what we think. But see, nowadays, the most traditional food is actually the venison and the beef and the seafood. Yeah, they actually collect seafood quite well there. And see, times are changing. Just like I said, the culture is evolving, yet we don't know that because we don't look into it. Scottish chefs are actually taking all three of those and creating a revitalization in the country's food style. And they're hoping that eventually Scotland will be known for more than just haggis. Now, I want you to picture inside your mind a Scottish man. I see you got him. The guy in the kilt, right? Like in Braveheart. Yeah. Well, actually, that's kind of true. The kilt is actually coming back in many runways around the world, and I'm actually kind of excited because I'm hoping a certain someone will buy one for me for Christmas. While many see the kilt fashion as the past, like I said, it's actually making a comeback. So now, after language and traditions, we move on to the people. Scotland is known for its welcoming people. You'll actually see a smile on almost everyone's face you meet. If you go in someplace and you order something, they'll not only take your order, they'll ask you how you're doing, they'll ask you if you need anything. While they are still proud of their own culture, they're very accepting and welcoming of other cultures. They don't lose themselves in each other, but they actually take each culture and they feel like they gain an aspect. So the Scottish are so welcoming. Actually, 75% of European tourists claim that the people of Scotland are the main reason they went. Not the beautiful Highlands, not the Highland Games. It's the people. That's the main reason. That actually brings me to the end of my presentation, but let me just give you a summary of what I've discussed for the past few minutes. While English does dominate Scotland and the Scottish culture, they don't forget their past and the past of all the cultures they've absorbed, and that's why they speak over 140 different languages there. The Scottish traditions are ever-changing with the world around them. They don't stay still because they know if they do, they'll be lost. And thirdly, the Scottish people are a welcoming people, and they're the main reason that you want to visit. All right. Thank you for your time. Hope you have a good evening.